I'm back, bitches. Whatever. Our Wheel of Time resident book nerd posted something the other day under the hashtag Ajah challenge. She posted a couple of pictures of her in both blue and yellow for each Ajah, with an obviously beautiful makeup look. So I followed and did my own gray Ajah because, believe it or not, I'd be a gray sister if Ranland were real. Unfortunately, it's not real, and the only way we can be transported there is through our imaginations, or a coma induced by being struck in the head by the hardback version of The Gathering Storm. It's huge. Actually, maybe by Towers of Midnight. It looks bigger. No spoilers. Speaking of spoilers, there really aren't any spoilers in this video for the series. I do talk about the Wheel of Time history, which will give some information that you learn throughout reading the series. If you don't want the history of the Wheel of Time world to be spoiled, then maybe don't watch this video. Anyways, I was thinking about the Ajah colors, and why each color represents their Ajah, and what RJ was thinking by choosing those colors. I've researched the most common color names, color symbolism, color psychology, colors used in politics, the meaning of colors, common associations of colors, and almost went down a wildly spiraling tangent of colors used in alchemy transmutation. Thanks, Carl Jung. First, as you may have expected, colors have different meanings across different cultures and even eras. For example, red can mean love or passion to people in the US, but it symbolizes good luck and happiness in China. Before the 20th century, pink was actually a color used for young boys. If you Google, when did pink start to symbolize girls, you'll get the 1940s. Pretty much all the research I did boils down to color meanings are so fluctuating that who knows why the Ajah colors are what they are. I'm gonna sum it up for you anyways. These common associations don't coincide with any one culture or country, but are most likely biased towards the US. Red, love, passion, lust, danger, importance, good luck, happiness. Blue, the ocean and sky, serenity, stability, inspiration, wisdom, calming, reliability. Yellow, sunshine, joy, cowardice, fear, and it's a child's color. Green, nature, healing, fertility, relaxing, money, greed, also jealousy and sickness. White, perfection, faith, innocence, softness, cleanliness, virginity, and purity. Pink, softness, femininity, sweetness, love. Purple, authority, sophistication, power, and royalty. Orange, warmth, excitement. Brown, ruggedness, steadfastness, simplicity, friendliness, dependability, and stability. Black, expensive, grief, sophistication, fear, and death. Also, during my research, I learned a little more about Ajahs. Guys, I'm on my third reread of the entire series, but I do not pretend to know everything about the Wheel of Time. During my second reread, I read things that I just didn't remember from the 10 years prior when I read it for the first time. Side note, the Wheel of Time Spoilers podcast is my favorite and, sorry guys, only podcast I listen to that's Wheel of Time related. Do not listen if you're reading for the first time because obviously. They discuss things I never thought about and really get into detail about each chapter for anything you might have missed or just not thought about. Now back to the program. So a little background on Ajah. Ajah means a temporary group of people banded together for a specific purpose. Actually, the Wheel of Time wiki says that that's the definition from the Age of Legends, but that is what an Ajah is. Before the founding of the White Tower, just after the breaking, so now we're out of the Age of Legends technically, there were 12 Ajahs. By the time they elected the first ever Amerlin seat in 98 after breaking, there were 7 Ajahs. We don't know what the purposes of these Ajahs were, or if they were similar to what our modern Ajahs are. I wanted to go back to the Age of Legends before all the chaos started to ensue and think about what the Ajahs were during that time, but that wouldn't be very fun because peace. So during the Age of Legends, Aes Sedai were female and male, and, get this, they worked together. So there were a couple of Aes Sedai who liked to do experiments, and unfortunately led them to accidentally open a little thing called the Dark One's Prison, aka these 2 Slytherins drilled the bore in the pattern, causing the Dark One to influence the world. This influence caused a gradual downward spiral of their peaceful utopian society, eventually leading to the War of Power, aka War of the Shadow. Enter Forsaken. Blah blah blah.
Wow. Ooh. Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely
You know nothing about no war.
Luz Theron does his dumb shit, taints Sidon in the process, male Aes Sedai start to go mad and destroy shit, and thus the breaking of the world has begun. So we can safely say the present Red Ajah was not in existence until after the sealing of the Bore, although something I never realized before is that the Red Ajah aren't just after male channelers. They also punish the wrong and dangerous use of the One Power, which included searching for and eradicating unlawful groups of female channelers outside of the White Tower. So before the men went mad, there could have been an Ajah that sought out illegal channeling, but they weren't trying to gentle male channelers because they weren't crazy yet. There's nothing to say that ancient Ajahs were associated by color, but since this all started with color research, let's assume. Let's also say that after the Bore was opened, Aes Sedai still carried on with their everyday jobs, because the world was gradually descending into chaos, so people were still waiting for new episodes of A Steading Wedding on their view walls. So, 12 Ajahs, end of the Age of Legends to the breaking in no special order. The Silver Ajah, science and technology. Silver because this one's easy, silver's high-tech, sleek, modern. The Brown Ajah, infrastructure, engineering. Brown because I honestly just thought about moving the earth to create roads. Remember from earlier, ruggedness? Steadfastness, dependability, stability, these kind of describe what we need when it comes to infrastructure and engineering, right? The Green Ajah, environment and animal welfare. Green is obvious. Green's the color of nature and life, growth, fertility. The Red Ajah, health and healing. I really just thought of the Red Cross for this one, but we also think of blood, strength, love, and to some, love is healing. Purple Ajah, entertainment, and the arts. Purple is a color of royalty. It's also associated with luxury, creativity, and extravagance. The Yellow Ajah, education and knowledge. Hello, the magic school bus is yellow. Yellow also means happiness, energy. These things remind me of school and students. Enlightenment, remembrance, intellect. The White Ajah, politics and diplomacy. White is a symbol of peace. White flag, it's a pure color. White light contains all wavelengths of visible light, just as a diplomat should understand all beliefs to work peacefully with others. The Gray Ajah, philosophy, logic, mathematics. Gray is an emotionless, neutral color, and philosophy and logic don't require emotion. The only emotional input for a math problem one might require is frustration, which, if that's the case, then this isn't the Ajah for you. The Blue Ajah, justice, law, and kind of battle. The Age of Legends was a peaceful time, so the only time they would have had to start preparing for battle was after the Bore was opened. Stability, trust, loyalty, confidence, and truth. The Gold Ajah, finance and economics. This is another obvious one. Gold has long been used for currency and symbolizes wealth and prosperity. Done. The One Power Ajah. This is for research of the One Power, Tel Air Riyadh, creation of Angreal, Tur-Angreal, and Sa-Angreal. Even after the Bore, Aes Sedai would have been studying the One Power for methods of defeating the Shadow. This one I thought would be represented by the Aes Sedai symbol instead of a color, since it would have everything to do with both Sidon and Saidar. Remember, men aren't crazy yet. Finally, the Black Ajah, which would have been the last to be organized. Once the Dark One started to influence the world, they would have realized that they need someone to fight the Dark One's influence and the new Forsaken that popped up. I chose black because evil, death, fear, and it represents the shadow. So here are what I think the 12 Ajahs would have been from just before the creation of the Bore, through the War of Power, to the foundation of the White Tower. After the breaking, I think the first Ajah to go would have been the One Power Ajah, as it was responsible for releasing the Dark One in the first place. Instead, it would be taken over by Aes Sedai, who monitored the use of the One Power to make sure it wouldn't lead to devastation again. And since the male Aes Sedai were going mad, they would also be responsible for protecting the world against them. I think the Red Ajah would have been the first modern Ajah to come about because of the breaking. I think next to go would have been entertainment, finance, and the environment. During the War of Power and through the breaking, these probably wouldn't have been priorities to the Aes Sedai. The next to go would be science and infrastructure. Because of the corruption of the male Aes Sedai and their destruction, we learn that this knowledge was lost. The remaining would develop into other modern Ajahs. The Black Ajah eventually becoming the Green, dedicated to preparing for the last battle, as they were originally organized to fight the Shadow and the Forsaken during the War of Power. The Blue Ajah dedicating themselves to saving the world to bring back the justice lost to the Dark One and the Breaking. So what do you think about my pre-White Tower Ajahs? Keep in mind that before the Breaking, these Ajahs would have included male channelers and female channelers because they hadn't gone crazy yet. And they had a lot more going on during the Age of Legends up to the Breaking than during the current age. Lastly, my favorite Ajahs for the hashtag create your own Ajah. The Gold Ajah memorializing the fallen from the last battle. The Amber Ajah maintaining records of the last battle. The Pink Ajah gossip and maintaining of the burn book. Don't trust this novice. She is a fugly slut. The Quiet Ajah gives aid to the voiceless and defenseless. The Chartreuse the Chartreuse Ajah. Obviously, it's not an illegal substance in the Wheel of Time world. The Magenta, the one power used for arts and mental health. The Rainbow Ajah, LGBTQIA support. And the new Black Ajah, where they just do charity to make up for all of the doings of the evil Black Ajah, like soup kitchens and such.
Spoilers.
These create your own Ajah made me think of post-last battle Ajahs and how they would have changed. The red would no longer be after male channelers, because there's no taint anymore. Taint. But they would go back to policing the improper use of the one power. I'm not sure about the greens because they have no last battle to prepare for anymore. So, what do you think? Well, here we are at the end of another video I said wouldn't come. Please, if I said something wrong, please correct it in the comments. I got all of my information from Wikipedia and the Wheel of Time Wikipedia. If you want to subscribe, go ahead. No promises on more videos. See you never. I said I.